Hello friends, in our last two videos we learned about the poem. In our today's video we also going to learn one very nice poem. Its name is the Inchcape Rock. This poem is written by very well-known poet whose name is Robert Southey. Robert Southey, who is born in the Bristol, and he take his education in the Oxford University. And if we see his lifetime is means he born in 1774 and he was died in 1843. Robert Southey, who is the poet laureate of England from 1813 to 1843, means रॉबर्ट साउदी हा इंग्लंडमध्ये त्या काळामध्ये राजकवी म्हणून नावारूपाला आलेला होता. His writing is very much popular in those days. This poem, the Inchcape Rock, this poem is in the ballad form. Actually ballad म्हणजे काय तर पोवाडा म्हणजेच काय तर a song which tells the story and it can be dramatic, funny or romantic. This poem is written in the ballad form and it contains the 17 stanzas. Each stanza have 4 lines, and through this poem the poet tells about if you do good things or if you do the nice things, then its result become the good one, and if you do the wrong things, if your deeds are the wrong one, then its result become the wrong one. So all of you know that if you commit any crime, then there will be the punishment, or tit for tat, means whatever you do you have to pay for that. If you do good things, your result will be the good. You can face the good things, and if you do the wrong things, if there is some bad things in your life or you commit some crimes, then there will be the punishment in your life. And this is also one, we can say that this is also one theme of this poem. That is, in this poem there are the 2 characters. The first character is Abbey of Aberbrothock and the second character is Sir Ralph the Rover. The first character, the Abbey of Aberbrothock, who is very much the good person, who is very much the noble person. He doing very well things for the people. And the second character, who is Sir Ralph the Rover, who is the pirate, means who looted so many ships in the oceans, and he becomes the rich person. And this character is the wrong character, means he commits so many crimes in his life, and at the end that he going to be punished by the nature. So let us see very long poem. This poem is in the ballad form. There are 17 stanzas. So let us see the poem. At first we see that the Robert Southey was inspired by the legendary story of a pirate who removed the bell on the Inchcape Rock placed by the abbot of Aberbrothock. Means Robert Southey, who reads the legendary story or who heard the legendary story of the pirate, and this pirate means Sir Ralph the Rover, who removed the bell from the Inchcape Rock, and then he is going to be punished by the nature, or he is going to be punished by his own deeds. So let us see the poem The Inchcape Rock. This is the name of the द रॉक. हे फक्त एका खडकाचं नाव आहे की ओशनमधला एक उंच असा खडक, आणि तो खडक कसा आहे तर बरेचसे जहाजं त्याला येऊन धडकतात. अँड दॅट्स वाय द ॲबे ऑफ ॲबरब्रोथा मीन्स the head priest of the church who plays one warning bell on that Inchcape Rock, and this bell, when this bell is going to be ringing, that time the sailors, they going to know that there is something danger in that ocean, and they going to be alert by this Inchcape bell. So let us see the first stanza of our poem. No steer in the air and no steer in the sea, the ship was as still as she could be. Her sails from heaven received no motion, her keel was steady in the ocean. In this first stanza, the poet described about the atmosphere in the ocean. The poet described the ship. That is, this ship is compared to the woman. That is, no steer in the air, no steer in the sea. की सगळीकडे काय होतं, नो स्टीर इन द एअर, की सगळीकडे शांतता होती, की एव्हरीवेअर देअर इज द क्वाइट अँड काम ॲटमॉस्फिअर. नो स्टीर इन द एअर, नो स्टीर इन द सी. Sea is very much quiet, very much calm. There is no very high motion, or there is no very high movement in the air as well as in the sea. The ship was as still as she could be, and that's why everywhere there is quiet and calm atmosphere, and so the ship is also as quiet as still as she could be, like a woman. This ship is also very much quiet, very much calm. की एखाद्या स्त्रीप्रमाणे ते जे जहाज होतं तर ते सुद्धा कसं होतं तर खूप स्थिर होतं, खूप शांत असं ते जहाज त्या ओशनमधून चाललेलं होतं. Her sails from heaven received no motion, her keel was steady in the ocean. की कुठूनही काहीही संकेत येत नव्हते की हेवनमधून म्हणजे वारा किंवा मोठ्या प्रमाणावर असं भरती वगैरे अशी त्या समुद्राला आलेली नव्हती. कुठूनही काहीही संकेत येत नव्हते. अँड हर किल वॉज स्टेडी इन द ओशन. किल मीन्स लॉंग पीस ऑफ वूड ऑन द बॉटम ऑफ द बोट फॉर सपोर्टिंग टू द शिप. की किल म्हणजे काय तर त्या बोटला खालून एक वुडन सरफेस असतो किंवा वुडन प्लॅटफॉर्म असतो जो कशाला सपोर्ट करतो, त्या बोटला सपोर्ट करतो, त्या सीमध्ये फ्लोटिंग होण्यासाठी, की त्या सीमध्ये तरंगण्यासाठी. म्हणजे ते जे किल होतं वॉज ऑल्सो स्टडी इन द ओशन. In this first stanza there is 3 figure of speech. The first figure of speech is simile. Means here the ship is compared to the woman. There is the conjunction as, and through this conjunction we come to know that there is the figure of speech simile. That is the direct comparison between the ship and the woman. And there is another figure of speech, that is the personification. Means here the ship, it doing the activities like the human being, like the woman, and so that is the figure of speech, personification. And the third one, we can say that there is the example of alliteration. That is no steer in the air, no steer in the sea. We can also come to know that there is also one figure of speech, that is the repetition or alliteration. When the sound going to be repeated, that time there is alliteration figure of speech. When there is words repeated, that time there is the repetition figure of speech. So, and if we see the rhyme scheme, we come to know that the first and second line, the first and second rhymes each other, third and fourth rhymes each other. So the rhyme scheme of the first stanza is A, A, B, B. Let us see the the second stanza. Without either sign or sound of their shock, the waves floated over the Inchcape Rock. So little they rose, so little they fell. They did not move the Inchcape bell. And because of the steady atmosphere, because of the quiet and calm atmosphere, there is no sound of without either sign or sound of their shock, the waves flowed over the Inchcape Rock. And just the waves, की त्या समुद्राच्या लाटा फक्त काय होत होत्या तर त्या इंचकेप रॉकवर फ्लोईंग करत होत्या, फ्लोड ओव्हर होत होत्या, की त्याच्यावर त्या प्रवाही होत होत्या, की क्वाईट अँड काम ॲटमॉस्फिअर होता, की दॅर इज नो टाईम ऑफ द टाईड, ही भरतीची वेळ नव्हती. आणि त्यामुळे काय तर द वेव्स फ्लोड ओव्हर द इंचकेप रॉक, की फक्त त्या तिथून वाहत होत्या, की त्याच्या लाटा होत्या समुद्राच्या, तर त्या खडकावरून वाहत होत्या. सो लिटिल दे रोज, सो लिटिल दे फेल, की थोड्याशा त्या वरती जायच्या, पुन्हा खाली जायच्या, थोडासा तो इंचकेप रॉक पाहायला मिळायचा. They did not move the Inchcape bell, and because of the quiet and calm atmosphere, the bell is not ringing. If there is the high tide, if there is the swelling of the waves, then there is the alert by the Inchcape bell. And now the atmosphere is very much quiet and calm, and so there is no ringing of the Inchcape bell. Here also we see that there is the rhyme scheme A A B B. The abbot of Aberbrothock had placed that bell on the Inchcape Rock. On a buoy in the storm it floated and swung, and over the waves its warning rung. Who placed that bell? That this bell was placed by the abbot of Aberbrothock. Abbot of Aberbrothock. Aberbrothock, who is the head priest, and abbot. Abbot means head of the abbey of monks. Abbey means the building where monks or nuns lived or used to live. की एक abbey म्हणजे काय तर जिथे nuns किंवा monks, की जे साधू आहेत किंवा ख्रिश्चनांमधले प्रेस्ट आहेत, तर ते तिथे राहतात ॲबेमध्ये. आणि त्यांचा जो हेड आहे, तो त्यांचा जो हेड प्रिस्ट आहे, तर त्याचं नाव काय आहे तर ॲबरब्रोथॉक असं त्याचं नाव आहे. अँड ही डुईंग व्हेरी गुड थिंग्स, दॅट ही प्लेस दॅट ringing bell, he placed that bell on that Inchcape Rock. The abbot of Aberbrothock had placed that bell on the Inchcape Rock. On a buoy in the storm it floated and swung. Buoy means floating object anchoring in the sea to mark dangerous places. की समुद्रामध्ये फ्लोटिंग ऑब्जेक्ट, इथे आपल्याला चित्रामध्ये पण दाखवलेलं आहे की देर इज 2 लॉग्स. ऑन दॅट लॉग्स वन बेल इज प्लेस्ड, की लाकडी ओंडके आहेत. त्या लाकडी ओंडक्यांवर काय तर ती बेल प्लेस केलेली आहे. आणि त्याला काय म्हटलेलं आहे तर बॉय, की त्या समुद्रामध्ये असे ऑब्जेक्ट काय केलेले असतात, अँकर केलेले असतात, की तिथे फिक्स केलेले असतात. आणि कशासाठी त्या ऑब्जेक्टवर इथे काय लावलेली आहे तर ती रिंगिंग बेल लावलेली आहे. ऑन बॉय इन द स्टॉर्म इट फ्लोटेड अँड स्वंग, की ती तिथे तरंगत आहे, ती तिथे हेलकावे खात आहे. स्वंग म्हणजे काय तर हेलकावे खाणे. अँड ओव्हर द वेव्स इट्स वॉर्निंग रंग. अँड इफ दॅर इज द ओव्हर वेव्स, की जर उंच लाटा येऊ लागल्या तिथे, तर ती बेल काय व्हायला लागते तर रिंगिंग व्हायला लागते, ती बेल वाजायला लागते. मीन्स इट मेकिंग अलर्ट टू द सेलर्स, इट मेकिंग अलर्ट्स to the mains on the ships. Let us see the next stanza. When the rock was hid by the surge's swell, the mariners heard the warning bell, and then they knew the perilous rock and blessed the abbot of Aberbrothock. That is in the next stanza. The poet tells us that when the rock was hit by the surges swell, if there is over water, if there is over waves, if there is the tide time, that time the rock was hit by the surges swell. की तो जो खडक आहे तो काय होतो तर झाकला जातो. कशामुळे झाकला जातो? सर्जेस स्वेल म्हणजे काय तर सडन अँड ग्रेट राईज इन द लेवल ऑफ अ सी. की अचानकपणे भरती आली, भरतीमध्ये तो खडक पूर्णपणे झाकला जातो. द मॅरिनर्स हर्ड द वॉर्निंग बेल and at that time the mariners means those who was in that ship, they heard the warning bell and then they knew the perilous rock and then they knew त्यांना कशाची माहिती पडते तर then they knew the perilous rock. Perilous means dangerous rock. Then they know about the dangerous rock, then they knew about the perilous rock, that they know that something is going to be dangerous in that place, and that's why there is the warning bell. And when the surges swell, at that time the bell is going to be ringing, and the mariners, the people on the ship, the people in that ocean, they going to know that something is going to be wrong, and bless the abbot of Aberbrothock. And at that time the people from that ship, they blessed. Here the word blessed, this word is used in the old English. Actually blessed means blessed. That time they blessed the abbot of Aberbrothock. At that time ते कोणाला शुभाशीर्वाद देतात की who blessed that bell, and this bell saving the life of mariners, and that's why they bless the abbot of Aberbrothock. की ते काय करतात तर छान त्याला की ब्लेसिंग्स देतात की हां तुझ्यामुळे आम्ही वाचलो, की तुझ्यामुळे आम्हाला ही जी डेंजरस सिच्युएशन आहे त्यामधून त्याची वॉर्निंग आम्हाला मिळाली. आणि म्हणून मग काय तर जे मॅरिनर्स आहेत, जे शिपवरचे लोक आहेत, जे समुद्रातले लोक आहेत, तर ते त्याला ब्लेसिंग करतात. द सन इन हेवन was shining gay, all things were joyful on that day. The seabirds screamed oh as they wheeled round, and there was joyance in their sound. And here the poet again described the atmosphere in that sea, that is the sun in heaven was shining gay. The sun looks very much bright. There is brightness everywhere. The sun rays spread everywhere, and that's why there is brightness everywhere. All things were joyous on that day. सर्व गोष्टी कशा आनंदी दिसत आहेत. Everything looks very very joyous, joyful. की सगळं छान आनंदी दिसत आहे. The seabirds screamed as they wheeled around. की जे समुद्री पक्षी आहेत तर ते सुद्धा चक्राकार असे फिरत आहेत. Because this time is the spring time. Everywhere there is the bright sun rays. Actually in the western countries, when the sun is very much bright, when the sun rays are bright, at that time the people from that western country feel very enthusiastic. की त्या वेस्टर्न कंट्रीजमध्ये जास्त काळ काय असतो तर हिवाळा असतो, कोल्ड वेदर असतं, आणि ज्यावेळेस स्प्रिंग सीझन असतो, ज्यावेळेस ब्राईट सनराईज असतात, त्यावेळेस त्यांना सगळं वातावरण कसं वाटतं प्रफुल्लित असं वातावरण तिथे वाटतं. आणि मग तसंच वातावरण होतं, सगळीकडे आनंद होता. ते जे सी बर्ड्स होते ते सुद्धा छान असे फिरत होते. दे व्हील्ड राऊंड की गोलाकार ते काय करत होते तर फिरत होते. अँड देअर वॉज जॉयन्स इन देअर साऊंड, अँड दे फ्ल्यू in a very joyful manner, in a very joyous manner. The boy of the Inchcape bell was seen, the darker speck on the ocean green. Sir Ralph the rover walked his deck, and he fixed his eye on the darker speck. And now Here is the entry of the second character whose name is Sir Ralph the Rover. And Sir Ralph the Rover, he looked at the Inchcape Bell. He looked at the Inchcape Rock. The boy of the Inchcape Bell was seen. He looked at that Inchcape Bell. A darker speck on the ocean green. Speck means a tiny dot. Means from a very distance, from a very remote place, this Sir Ralph the Rover who seen that Inchcape Bell, and that bell is just looking like a tiny dot. ती अगदी एक छोटासा टिपका असल्यासारखं ती बेल त्याला दिसू लागली. ही खूप लांबून तो ती बेल पाहत होता. In that ocean green, here the ocean is described as a green color. Everywhere there is the greenery in that ocean, and that's why the ocean looks like a green colored. Sir Ralph the Rover walked his deck, and he just walking on his deck. He is standing on the ship. He is standing on the deck, and he walking on that deck, and he fixed his eye on the darker speck, and he fixed his eye on that Inchcape Bell. He fixed his eye on that Inchcape Bell, and at that time so many thoughts come in the Sir Ralph the Rover's mind. And let us see in the next stanza what comes in his mind. He felt the cheering power of spring. It made him whistle, it made him sing. His heart was mirthful to excess, but the rover's mirth was wickedness. And this is the spring season. He looks very joyous. He looks very happy. He just whistling. He wants to sing a song because of the spring season, and his heart was mirthful to excess. Mirthful means joyness. की त्याचं सगळा मूड कसा होता, हॅपी मूड होता, खूप उत्साही होता तो, कारण की स्प्रिंग सीझन होता. ही वॉन्ट्स टू सिंग अ सॉन्ग. ही जस्ट विसलिंग, की तो काय तर शिट्टी वाजवत होता. बट द रोवर्स मिर्थ वॉज विकेडनेस. That is, the rover's mirth was wickedness. Means in his joyness there is the wickedness. की काय क्रूरपणा होता, की त्याच्या आनंदामध्ये काय. He is the villain in this story, in this poem story. He is doing the work of the villain, and in his joyness there is the wickedness. His eye was on the Inchcape float. Quoth he, "My men, put the boat and row me to the Inchcape Rock, and I will pluck the abbot of Aberbrothock." And what he said to his men? His eye was on that Inchcape float, and his eye was steady on that Inchcape Bell. की त्याचे डोळे कशावर होते रोखलेले? Inchcape Bell वर होते. Inchcape Bell is the good deed of abbot of Aberbrothock. की हे कोणाचं काम होतं? छान चांगलं काम कोणाचं होतं? abbot of Aberbrothockचं काम होतं. आणि त्याचे डोळे आता त्याच्यावर होते. त्याला काय करायचं होतं? What he said, quoth he. Quoth means he said to his men, "My men, put out the boat." He said to his men that put out the boat and row me to the Inchcape Rock. की मला कुठे घेऊन चला? ती बोट, आपली छोटी बोट कुठे घेऊन चला? की आपल्या मोठ्या जहाजामधून एक छोटी बोट काढा. And row me to the Inchcape Rock, and I will pluck the abbot of Aberbrothock. Pluck means cause pain or trouble, to cause someone, to pain someone. And what he said that I will pluck the abbot of Aberbrothock. Aberbrothock did a very good work, and now I want to give trouble to his name, to his fame, and I will cut that Inchcape Bell. This is the first part of our poem. In our next video, we will see the next part. Thank you.